Hello guys, welcome to this video, and what an awesome day it is here in the UK. We're on about 25 degrees already, it's only 10:30 in the morning, but we're here at Ultraflex Rotherham. First time I've ever been here. It's only like 35 minutes from where I live, but I should have come here sooner. It's been open a fair few years now, but we're here, we're doing a Q&A seminar today with some greats of the industry. It's going to be really interesting, and you're going to learn a lot. Probably not from me because I'm a basic bitch, but there's some really clever guys who are going to be doing some talks as well. And we're also going to get a session in here. I heard big things about this place, and I've seen on social media how good it looks. I know the equipment is pretty top notch, so we're going to get a massive back session in, because that's one of the muscle parts, or the muscle part, I really need to bring up for the Olympia this year. So let's do this.
But they'll put their, I had an amazing workout, smashed it out of the park today, diet on point, looking great, here's a shot of my abs. What you don't see is the other days where it all went wrong. Off diet, off plan, didn't train, stayed in bed, feel awful, in the baggy clothes or whatever it might be. And the high performers I've worked with are very consistent. Day in, day out, they get it done. So rather than having a 10 on a Monday, 7 on a Tuesday, and then a 3 or 4 4s in a row, and then they're back to a 10 the following Monday, it's 8 or 9 every day, day in, day out. So being consistent is really important, because success in life is about the accumulation of those total scores, not the number of 10s. So having a high average score and consistently performing is what will really get you there. And you really need like a 12 or a 13 to get you out of the hole that the 3 don't you in as well. There's a common thing with working smart, being efficient. There's a lot of pipe dreams sold about different things of if you just do this and just do that, you can get there quicker. I think it's a combination of the two, and one of my roles in my businesses is to advise people who've been very successful business owners. Without exception, every single one of them has worked really hard. Now, some of them have got there slightly quicker or slightly slower, but they've worked really hard. So I think working hard and smart in combination is what's really needed, and just one or just the other sometimes isn't the way to go.
So obviously you're a very successful individual, and in order to be successful you have to put in a lot of work. So I would like to know your point of view on balance in life, and if you had any balance trying to reach your goals and to be that successful.
I definitely have got the balance wrong at points in time. Sometimes you can have a short period where you think, actually, I'm going to really apply myself for this 3 months, but I need to reapply some balance somewhere else. And the analogy I use with those 3 things is often, if you imagine there are 3 plans: your business, your training, and your family life. If you don't water one of them for a little while, it'll still be alive, but it'll just wilt a little bit. But if you go back and water it properly, you can bring it back to life. If you leave it long enough, it'll be dead. And so it's thinking about that balance, which is you can temporarily shift the balance between those things. And so before show, the reality is you're not going to have the most balanced family life. But then if after the show you go away on holiday, or you do some nice things, or you're extra pleasant to your other half, well, actually you can help with that. And so shifting that balance in different directions is difficult, because anyone who's successful is often very driven, and they will push the absolute limit with that. And sometimes they'll get away with it, sometimes they won't, and sometimes they'll think the plant's alive and it's actually already dead. In that analogy, but it's a tough thing to do. But having that balance will make things more motivational. So if you don't have some of those good things in your life, actually the rest of it sometimes just doesn't really matter as well. So having the friends and family around me is part of what then I can enjoy some of the fruits of the labour with. But if I didn't have that and I'm sat on my own, it's not really as enjoyable as well.
That was actually one of the first lessons that he gave me, is managing that, and manage expectations with that as well. I think when you're all in, you've got to be all in at all that you do. But if you're all in at one thing, very soon it gets very old, no matter how much you love it. So you need a degree of balance. But one thing people have to understand is, I know how Charlie operates. Charlie's balance is very different to what people think balance is. There's no days off. There's no days where he doesn't work. There's no day where he's not replying to emails. His weeks are extremely scheduled to the minute. Now, people think that they can achieve a certain level of success, and having a skewed perception of what balance is. You want to be extremely successful at something, it will unfortunately require a certain degree of sacrifice across certain areas, but without totally destroying them. That's a key point. I think you've got to have time for everything. Great question, I love that one.
Parts of it, we noticed this in lockdown, for example, when people weren't able to access gyms, they then lost a lot of their coping mechanisms. So they didn't develop other coping mechanisms and they didn't have actual therapy because they thought that the gym was all they needed. So while it's one of the things that should be in people's arsenals to help with their mental health, sometimes it's not the be-all and end-all. Body image we talked about obviously can also be massively negative, lead to body dysmorphia, and then you've got the community aspect is great until you get social media, which has some great positives, but also some massive negatives as well, as I'm sure you'll all be aware. I don't think we need to go into those too much.
So we're here at the venue where I'm going to be doing my seminar shortly. I'm absolutely shitting myself, I'm not going to lie. I don't know what it is, since the pandemic, I've got a lot more nervous. I was always a nervous guy anyway, but I've always got a little bit more nervous doing these things since then. And to top it off, I've just watched Charlie, who basically is a multi-millionaire, very, very, very successful man, who set up Ultraflex, which is a chain of gyms. He owns multiple businesses worth hundreds of millions. Very inspirational, phenomenal speaker. And then followed by Dr. Mike, who again, very, very knowledgeable in his field, an NHS doctor, specialises in mental health, and both had amazing slides. And then I've got to follow that, which I haven't got any slides. I've got a monotone northern voice, and I'm a basic bitch. So yeah, it should be fun. Hopefully I don't get heckled and booed off stage, and I'm fingers crossed there's going to be some Q&As, people firing questions at me, so it's not like that awkward tumbleweed moment
Kuba
for the
will
next
help you out.
20 minutes. Kuba better help me out, otherwise this video's not going out.
I won't tell this story for you guys, but he's definitely someone that in our region and our area has inspired many to do better and achieve great things, because let's face it, he has done what many, many, many would love to even come close to doing, and he's still on his way up, I believe. Ryan Terry, gentlemen.
Thank you very much, I appreciate that. Right, so thank you all for coming today, and obviously I apologise I haven't got a slideshow, a fancy slideshow, anything like that, and I am immensely nervous because I'm not, would you believe it or not, the most confident person, especially when it comes to stuff like this. So yeah, Kuba's kindly asked me to come down today and just give you an insight into how I started and where I am today and what I'm currently doing on and off stage.
So we can all say that we love training, we do it for the love of it. What drives you to do everything that you have to do during the day? Because it's not just Ryan Terry anymore, it's not just a one-man band. Yeah. It's a family, it's businesses, it is still chasing the Olympia. What drives you to get out of bed and still do what you need to do? Still get on the bike, still eat your food, still get your cardio done?
I have that passion and desire to be the best in the world at what I do, and that competitive side. And I actually did a podcast recently saying I don't know that transition of stepping off stage into something else, how will I cope with it? Because I have got most of us, anyone who competes has a competitive mindset. So to get up every day and stuff, for me, it's a necessity because I want to be the best in the world. I've not achieved what I want to achieve yet. And for me, it's all about progression in life and keep progressing forward. So that's why I keep doing my businesses. I set target goals and I want to keep achieving, not because I have to, because I want to. I enjoy seeing businesses grow. My main focus now is to win the Olympia. And yeah, I've recently just come off the back of a win at New York. For me, there was a massive point to prove to myself and to maybe to a few other people, but mainly to myself, because the last few years, I don't know, I've just felt like, I've just not had that hunger for it. I've just been turning up, making the numbers up, and started to lose myself in other things, what weren't making me happy. So I actually took a step back a few years ago, 2 years ago. I actually got rid of my team, because as I've progressed through my career as well, I've had a lot of people come on board and overthink a lot of things. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. For some people, like real structure and data is amazing. But for me and my personality, I just didn't function very well. But I followed the suit and I thought, this is what I need to do Mr. Olympia. And I lost my way. And then last year, the start of last year, I decided to go back to basics, go back to why I did this, the enjoyment side of it, and just doing it for me. So yeah, I even coach myself now. So went back to, when I couldn't afford a coach, I had to coach myself. So went back to the drawing board, and I've done that for the last 2 years. And it's the best 2 years of my career so far. Maybe not in placing at the Olympia, a few little mess ups, but just the way I train now is part of my lifestyle again. I love going to the gym, I'm excited to do it again. My food fits around me and my family now, because it's not just about me anymore. I'm not that young teenager who can eat and sleep whenever he wants. I've got other obligations now.
Wow, it's hot in here. Woo. So, first exercise, own body weight, wide grip pull-ups. Form's not amazing on this. Haven't had amazing food today either, but we're still getting the work done. Official start, like I said, tomorrow on my off-season plan. So today's just making the most of some nice equipment in the gym I've not trained in. But yeah, we're bringing that back up this year. We've got 5 months to make some big improvements. Own body weight to start. Let's go. Right, so second exercise, extreme row. So supported, pronated grip, plate loaded, extreme row. So this is an awesome exercise to really isolate your mid rhomboid. So for me, I was told that's something I really need to bring up more 3D, thick middle back. So exercises like this are perfect for it. We've progressed up in weight each set. We've gone for around the 6 solid reps and then around 2 to 4 pulsating, half, whatever, just getting them out. Still keeping that connection though. Third exercise was a seated row, neutral grip, plate loaded. So we progressed up in weight and we ensured that our chest was fully encapsulated, planted on the pad. We had a slight arch to our lower back, so it over exaggerates the pull, the squeeze, and still hits that thickness to lower lat. So again, it's just trying to vary up all the grip movements. So you've got pronated, neutral, underhand. These are going to hit different parts of the back. We went for 4 working sets, and then we had 2 triple drop sets at the end. So keeping form at all times. I'm not about expending calories, to just doing it as fast as I can, which I tend to do towards the end of some workout preps. We were just more isolated and just really getting that fatigue and that squeeze, that lactic acid build up. We're just breaking through barriers and getting as much as we can done. Now we're moving on to, we'd say it's a lat pull down, pin loaded, sorry. And again, this is just a great movement for getting that width. As you can see, with the shoulder width for par, a lot of people think when they're having a wide grip, they're out here. When you go too wide with a lat pulled on a wide grip, look what my lats do. As I come down, they close in. We don't want that. So if we come in to shoulder width for par, our lats stay out the whole time, and it just engages the lat and gives you more width. strapped the lat pull down, didn't get on with that machine. Very conscious that I was just doing machine after machine after machine. It's very easy when you come into new gyms, new environments, to just start trying all new machines that you haven't tried before. But try not to neglect the fundamentals, which for me is free weight work, barbell, dumbbell, so I sacked it off. I wanted to prioritise what I know works for me with building my back, and we're barbell rowing instead. So I'm going to progress with weight. We're not going to go too heavy with this. We will touch the heavyweight, but I really want that mind to muscle connection first and make sure we're building that back ready for the Olympia.
What's the intro workout fuel then?
So now we're going into off season. 3 scoops EAA, 1 scoop creatine, 1 scoop multidextrin at the minute. That will increase up to 100 grams, so 2 scoops of multidextrin. But I'm just getting used to it, adapted. So we're just reintroducing it back around my training, carbs.
Now you introduce that back, have you noticed the difference between training Olympia compared to like now, sort of going into your off season, different form sort of energy? Or
yeah, I've noticed I'm sweating a lot more because I'm eating a lot more shit. Now I'm enjoying just training for the love of it rather than a specific goal. Don't get me wrong, my goal is to be better on the Olympia, but at the minute, just this cross period where I'm enjoying downtime, enjoying family, enjoying food, and coming in to just mentally release and just enjoy it rather than having to hit targets, having to do that. That's been really good. And I'm enjoying, with the more calories, being able to sustain my workouts longer. Even though I sound really unfit right now, it's more the heat in here. He's sweating your tits off.
yeah,
But it's more, yeah, the fact I've got more energy. I'm not having to rush through it because I'm going to lose my pump. It's just enjoying training again. Workout done, pretty steady, sweaty little man. Did a little bit of off season, might show you a snippet of the back, not showing you the big belly at the minute, the food belly. But yeah, like I say guys, hope you've enjoyed this video. Hope you've taken something from the seminar, a little bit from Ultraflex. Massive shout out to Kuba and all the team. Awesome hospitality. This place is insane as well, so if you're ever in Rotherham, come check this place out. Very, very good. Massive shout out to everybody watching, all the support since New York. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Let's get the gains.